I'm really thrilled to be here with you today and walk you through the final software experience for Windows Phone 7. And before I jump into a demo, I just wanted to mention, when we set out to change the design of Windows phones, we really asked ourselves two simple questions, and this goes back to what Steve's been talking about. How can we build a phone that takes those everyday tasks and simplifies them and makes them possible to do with just as few taps as possible so they can be done quickly and easily? And how can we take all the power and capability that's been blossoming in web services and in applications and put those in a phone experience in a way that makes them faster and simpler for people to deal with? So they get all that great power, but in a way that's very easy. And the way we answered that was to try to build a smart design where in as many places as possible, the phone anticipates the things you want and need, lets you customize it to make it really deeply personal, so tasks are fast and easy. And then we also created Windows Phone hubs. There are 6 hubs, and the idea of the hubs is to have a dedicated destination place for common tasks like photos, or like music and video, or your people. And when you go there, you get all of the benefit of web services, third-party applications, and the content on your phone in a simple, integrated way. And that's our unique point of view and how we think Windows Phone is going to be a lot easier and faster for people to use. So with that, let me find my demo phone here, and I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough. Now, I just turned it off. What I'm going to do is show you a demo, and what you'll see up on the screen there is exactly what I do with my finger here. So you're seeing a projection of this phone. And our idea of smart design actually starts right there on the lock screen, where you'll notice down on the bottom of the lock screen we put up your next calendar appointment. So if you just want to have a quick glance at where you're supposed to go next, you pull your phone out, you turn it on, you can see your next appointment, and you're off and good to go. Now, when I pan this up to unlock it, you see the Windows Phone Start experience. Down on the bottom there in hardware, you'll see we have 3 hardware buttons. These are consistent on all the phones. There's a back button, really simple, take you back to where you were, a start button that gets you to this experience, and a search button. More on that later. And as I pan down, you'll see these live tiles are lighting up with information about all my experiences. It's telling me I have 2 unread mail messages. It's telling me I have an unread text message. That was my last Facebook post, Backstage Ready to Rock. It's showing up on my phone and on all my friends' phones. You see my Xbox Live avatar down there. The Pictures hub has automatically customized with pictures of my twins. The Music and Videos hub shows me what I've last been playing. And one of the key features for making the phone really wonderfully yours, really deeply personal, is being able to put the people that you care about right up there on your start experience in a live tile. And these tiles are live because, as Steve updated his Facebook post, you can see he last said he's on the ground in New York City. If he posts pictures, I'll see them right there. I don't have to go in and out of a whole lot of applications to see all these sorts of things. It's aggregated for me right on the home screen. The home screen, start screen, is customizable, so AT&T phones will ship out of the box with some tiles for the UVerse experience and other AT&T value add. And then I can customize it with things like a note or a web page or applications that I'm using. And we really mean for people to be able to do this in a very natural, straightforward way, so everyone will. It's not hard to customize. Let's take a real example here. I've been spending a bunch of time with Steve getting ready for this. Fortunately, after this demo is over, I'm going to get back to spending some more time on my personal life. So I'm going to touch Steve here and say goodbye to Steve by clicking the little unpin button. And down here is my wife, who says, big announce day, don't screw it up, Joe. Thank you. I'll press and hold on her, and you see those tiles fade into the background. That's a nice, subtle way of telling the user, you can move this one around. So I'll pull her up here. I'm just going to drop her into that spot, and voila, now I have moved my wife back up towards the front and center of my start experience, because I'm going to spend a little bit more time on my personal life now. Anyway, that's the start experience, and how fast and easy it is to create an environment that really becomes deeply personal. It's about the people you care about, the tasks you want to do, and it's just one button click away. Always. Now, there's another great scenario which I think illustrates our idea of smart design. You saw up there I have twin daughters. They just turned 3. They're really fast-moving kids, and I wanted a phone that really can take great pictures. And taking great pictures means more than just image quality. We have that, but we wanted a great photo-taking experience. So imagine, I'm going to turn my phone off. Imagine it's in my pocket. Think of these 3-year-old girls running around doing some amusing thing. I do not have much time to get a good picture of them. Now watch how I do it on Windows Phone 7. I'll pull the phone out of my pocket, press the camera button, the phone wakes up immediately, gives me the camera, and voila, I snap and I've got my picture. Very fast and easy. Now, I want you to watch this again, because a subtle thing actually happened there. I'm going to take the picture. Now, watch where the picture goes. Here I go. 1, 2, 3. Snap. OK, did you see that? It moved over there to the left. Another really common task in photo taking. If I got a great picture of my kids, I want to post it and share it with my friends. Right there in the camera, I can just pan over, choose a picture, touch the picture, and I get a menu of options. I'm going to say, upload to Facebook. And with just a couple of taps, I'm now sharing that picture with my friends. One of the things that we do is we really try to connect to these cloud services in an interesting way. Every picture I take, I can set my camera up to automatically upload the minute I take it so that it's safely stored in the cloud and it's available to me from a website so I can get it, share it, or use it on my PC. Another thing that's kind of cool, you can see here I've got my camera roll. Those are the 2 pictures I've taken, but I can pan back in time. That's yesterday's rehearsal. I've got some pictures of my kids. I can put this in film strip mode and sort of pan back and see all the pictures I've taken from the summer. And I want you to see some of the image quality. This is real. I didn't set this up for a demo or anything. I was literally out with my family using my Windows Phone, and I got some terrific looking pictures like that. So we're excited about the camera experience. We're excited about this idea of smart design, where you can go from pocket to picture to post it on the web, literally in just a few seconds. And that's the idea of really trying to rethink the design in a way that's about people and lets them get in, get out, and get back to their real meaningful lives. OK, so let's talk about some more sort of intense and immersive tasks, like doing email. Here you see I have my Outlook tile, which has got a 2 on it, telling me I've got a couple of messages I haven't seen yet. So I'm going to pan in here. And in this particular case, I'm looking at email that's coming from an Exchange server. But one of the things we tried to do generally was make sure the phone worked for your work life as well as your personal life. So here I have Exchange email, and you can see I can pan through all these messages. The performance is good. I can pivot over and just see unread messages. I can pivot over and see messages that I flagged using the Outlook experience on my PC desktop. So there's a nice integration there for Outlook users. I can pan over and see urgent. And as you'd expect, there's a nice, rich, full-featured email experience. So here I have a mail from Steve. Is this the right slide deck? I open it up, I can see Steve's picture, and you can see he's sent me a slide deck that he wants me to take a look at and confirm that I've got it right with all the right animations. So one of the things that we tried to do, if you think about this continuum of experiences, is to enable work as well as play. And I want to give you a quick look at PowerPoint 2010 built for mobile. So here's a first slide. Now I'm going to pan over and watch the slide animations there. This is a PowerPoint 2010 document that was created on the desktop, which is rendering with excellent fidelity here on the phone. As I pan, you see the hardware-assisted animations. Graphics are rendered very smoothly. It looks terrific on the phone. In fact, because I'm projecting here, I really could be doing my slide presentation using my phone. And these capabilities are not just limited to sort of looking at content, but also editing as well. I can touch and bring up the app bar, which is consistent throughout the Windows Phone experience. I could choose to edit my slides. I could choose to go to the notes and maybe comment on the notes in here or change the notes. I could navigate through the slide deck by outline view. Now, I'm not going to do all those things, but the Office capabilities that are built in are unique and incredibly powerful in Windows Phone, and I'll come back to those in a little bit. So here I've opened my email from Steve. He asked, do I have the right slide deck? I want to show you another place where we've really tried to focus a lot of energy and where we think we're delivering an unparalleled experience and smart design, and that is text entry. Now, when you think about text entry, this is the kind of technology problem that involves great hardware, terrific drivers, smart software, all working together in harmony. And it's a place that we've spent a lot of time and energy with our hardware partners to do a great job. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to type as fast as I possibly can. And I'm not going to look at the results, because that would slow me down. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm a little nervous. I've got wires hanging out at the side of the phone. So let me set your expectations there. So Steve says, is this the right slide deck? Yes, Steve, I think you have the right deck there, period. Did you like the animations? And period. So let's see, how did I do? Yes, Steve, I think you have the right deck. Rare. Did you like the animations? Now, come on. That was pretty good, don't you think? I was cranking away there, and Windows Phone just figured all that out. But actually, that's not the best part, because it would be unfair to think that it would get 100%. Obviously, it's not getting 100%. So the question is, how do you do when someone makes a mistake? Well, here's the smart design. Just like you're used to on the desktop, I can go back. You see the red squigglies. I simply touch the word there. And I can pan through. Whoops. Whoops, that was a mistake. I mistouched the suggestion bar. Shaky fingers. So I'm going to do that again. I can't remember what I typed. Something like YHERE for there. I'll go back and choose that. And you can see this bar here gives me a bunch of word suggestions. So it's really fast and easy for me to go back and choose the correct word. And now, to really get smart design, you've got to think about, well, what if what the user typed was what they meant, and you corrected to the wrong thing? Well, in that case, I can go back and touch the word, and you see YHERE is still there. We remember what you typed, and if we made a mistake in correcting it, we let you go back and fix it. That's what we really mean when we say smart design. It's about the phone understanding what you were trying to do and making those simple, everyday tasks really easy and fast. So having corrected my email, I'm just going to push the send button, and that's off to Steve. I've now sent my response. And we'll pretend I just typed real fast and clicked send. Another thing that we tried to do when we thought about this email experience, and we thought about how people are accustomed to using email and calendaring on their desktop, was to make sure we offered Outlook integration on the phone that lived up to what the Outlook brand is about on the desktop. So let me scroll down here. You'll see I have an email from Steve, which is a meeting invitation to a post-event dinner. So I'm going to open this up, and you see here Steve is suggesting post-event dinner at TGI Fridays, somewhere here in New York. OK. You'll notice the address there is underlined. More on that in a second. That happened automatically. Steve just typed in the address. And then below that, it says show scheduling conflict. Right within the email, this meeting request is looking at my calendar to detect whether I have a conflict or not, and it's letting me know so I can make a smart decision right here in the email about whether to accept it or not. So I'm going to touch show scheduling conflict and jump in here to the calendar, where you'll see in green, these are my work appointments coming from Exchange, and in red, these are my personal appointments coming from Hotmail calendar. Just like email, we work with lots of services. Exchange, Hotmail, Yahoo, Gmail, all those services are supported. And in this particular case, Steve is suggesting a dinner that conflicts with a conference call I have set up with our design team back in Redmond. So I need to decide, am I going to accept Steve's invitation or not? Well, now being able to see in the calendar gives me a little bit more context to know whether to say yes or no. And what I'm going to do is touch that meeting appointment. And there's even more things that we're trying to do to make this helpful for people. Just for a second, imagine this is a meeting I'm about to go to. And I'm going to my calendar because I'm running late. I can open the meeting up, and down there on the lower right, you see a button. I'll pull the app bar up so you can see it a little more clearly, the I'll be late button. With one touch, you can push I'll be late, and then confirm you want to notify either the meeting organizer or the meeting attendees, and it sends a quick automatic email to them letting you know that you'll be late. We think that's an example of smart design. But back to the scenario I was talking about. So Steve has sent me this invitation to a post-event dinner. I'm trying to decide whether or not to go. It's at TGI Fridays. You know, I don't want to have to go somewhere that I can't walk, because the weather here in New York's been beautiful. I want to see where this is. So he kindly put the address right in the meeting. The system automatically recognized the address, so I don't have to go through any cumbersome process to get that information into a distinct Maps application somewhere. I can just touch it. I go right over here to the underlined thing, touch it, and the Bing Maps experience comes up with the address shown right there, and the little yellow diamond shows where I am. So of course I could zoom in, but what I want to do is use the service to help me make a decision about whether to go here or not. If I pull up the app bar, this is another way we consistently provide commands throughout the system. It's always easy for people to find, and when you pull it up, you get more information. I'm going to touch the directions button, and I'm going to let the back end tell me how long it'll take to get there, and whether I could do it best by walking or driving. So you see, it came up and it said, oh, for this you want to drive. That's the car in the upper right. And I could step through all the steps here. And you see the map animates to show me each step along the way. And if I choose the end, there's the end. So now I know I have to drive to go here. Maybe I want to see what neighborhood this is in to really decide if it's the right place for us to go. And I'm going to zoom in on the map. And you see the directions are still shown there as an overlay. And when I get in close enough, the